Mic test 1 2, mic test 1 2. I'm actually reading a new book, and I just thought, have you ever done a SWOT analysis on self? Yes. We are used to doing SWOT analysis for businesses, for companies, for other things. But have you ever done a SWOT analysis on self? To just be real with yourself at the stage of life. The important thing is, yes, you may have a knowledge gap, but you can close that knowledge gap up because you have identified it. If you haven't identified it, you will not be able to close that knowledge gap. For example, in this season of my life, I've transitioned into a new role. So I went on the internet and I Googled, this is my situation. What can I do to grow? Because for me, I cannot fail. This life, I cannot fail. I don't know about you, but for me, I cannot fail. As much as I pray, as much as I ask God for grace, I always ask, what can I do on my own part? One of the books that I found is the first 90 days. You know how presidents get 100 days in office to prove themselves? As employees, as leaders, we get 90 days. Now, the 90 days for you might be probation, of which in most cases is a probation to prove yourself. What are you going to do to make sure you reach a break-even point for your organization in your transition season? One thing I need you to do is just sit down, do a SWOT analysis on self, identify your key strengths, your weaknesses, the skill set that you have, the skill set that you need to future-proof your career and your life or your business. There is such thing as future-proofing your career and your life. Are you going to still be valuable with the same skills if you remain with the same mindset? Your exposure. So you have identified your weaknesses, you have identified your strength. Now for your strength, you can continuously sharpen those. But for your weaknesses, you need to work on those weaknesses, because the weaknesses will derail your destiny, will derail your career, will derail your growth. See, you can either stop and just complain and say the economy is doing you wrong, the government, the company, the people, your village people. Or you can be real with yourself and ask yourself, what can I do? Where can I improve? Now when you have identified areas that you can improve, actually start doing. See, one of the frames that I did for my little space here is this portrait that says, learn, apply, grow. Now, what is the thinking behind this? The thinking behind this, learn. Continuous learning is a skill that you actually need to make sure that you have, so that you have accelerated learning. The world is changing. Information is out there. But are you learning? You actually have to be willing to learn. Now you have learned. The next stage is to apply. Apply what you have learned and see where it's taking you. If you don't apply it, because knowledge only is not power, because everyone might have that knowledge, but applied knowledge is power. So every time you read about something, just think, how can I apply it? How can I apply it in my current role? How can I apply it? See, so what did you learn? Why does it matter? Where do you apply that knowledge so that you can continuously grow? The next step is you grow. You have applied the knowledge. Now you grow. You learn, you apply, you grow. Now you have identified those skills that you are strengthening. One thing that you can do to solidify those skill sets is to teach other people. We are in the generation where you can monetize the information, monetize one. Now if you wait to be ready, you can never be ready. Anyway, one thing I've learned in life is clarity comes on the go. Sometimes you cannot have the whole big picture, and just be reasonable and start. For example, in this season of my life, I just pressed record, and I'm telling you this. You need to start. Start from where you are. You grow. You learn. You grow. That's when you're applying knowledge. This digital space, you need to occupy it early, because it's not going anywhere. It's going to just grow. Just see yourself as a brand. If you are working for an employer, you're a supplier. You're supplying your services to that employer, and that employer is paying you for your services. Now imagine if you remain stagnant and you don't want to grow. You don't want to sharpen your skills. The employer has got right to hire another supplier who can supply better, competitive, valuable skill sets than you. You can complain, it's not fair. It's not fair to the organization if you don't want to grow. It's not fair to you when you are let go, but it's not fair for the organization if you're not going to, because at the end of the day, businesses are out there to make profit. That's the truth. They are out there to make profit. So as a person, you're a brand. Continue to sharpen your skills. What do I do to grow in this season of my life? I ask that question myself, because I know the key performance indicators that sustained me in my previous role will not sustain me in my management role. This is my first time being a manager, which means my mindset, the language that I speak in meetings, it's not only about the department. Now it's about the business as a whole. See, another thing is what decisions that you have to take in life, some don't make sense in the season that you are. I remember the season that I started pursuing Masters in Business Administration. Let me tell you, it did not make financial sense to me. I remember on days that I didn't have anything to earn because I had paid fees. I remember specifically my last semester we had to pay 2,000 USD that I didn't have. But I said, because I had transitioned in a new lane, in a new career, I had quickly identified my knowledge gap. And I said, I don't only want to focus on HR, because in future I want to be a business leader. So for me to be a business lead, I actually have to have the knowledge in here and the applied experience. So I pursued the Masters in Business Administration, and it did not make sense to the people. It did not make career sense. It did not make financial sense. But to me, I knew that I needed it. I didn't want to focus on one lane. I actually wanted to cover it. So now if I'm reading things, it makes sense because it's not something new to me. Now, it's not always about getting another degree and another certificate. Sometimes just going online and learning a free skill out there. Sometimes it's just going and take Excel lessons and make sure your advanced data analysis, your advanced work presentation, or advanced report writing, you learn in your field and in your industry. What skill set are people using? What artificial intelligence tools that people are using? The only way you know how to use AI is to write emails. But no, AI can do reports, can do budgets, can actually give you automated Excel formulas in Excel that you need to just punch in figures and your document is ready. I will say embrace technology. This is the day and age to embrace technology, to sharpen your skills so that your competitive advantage is always good, so that you have value. Give value. Please continue to learn. Now, if you have learned something, I also do free Excel lessons. On Saturdays, I actually have a community that I teach free Excel lessons because I was also taught. One, I hated maths. But right now I calculate day in and out. I use Excel day in and out. And people took time to teach and coach me. So if you are interested, just comment below Excel and I will send you the link to my free Excel class. Another thing I also teach is digital workplace collaboration. How to use AI on your workplaces. If you also want that link, comment link below so that you can learn. Please do yourself a favor. Learn. Yes, I know you're a believer. You believe in praying. You believe in speaking in tongues. I also do. I shabakarara. Then after I have shabakarara, I also make sure that my intellect, my knowledge, my exposure aligns with the spiritual word so that I can speak the language of the Chaldeans in the workplace. So that when I'm in the marketplace, I'm not only speaking tongues, I can speak the language. I can actually be of use and of value. See, you cannot always wake up confident. In some days you are not confident, but do it afraid, do it scared. Just block naysayers and just focus on yourself. I, Triumphando, cannot fail. I don't know about you. I cannot fail. God is in it. I am fully invested and I love it when people underestimate me. That's when I show up and I show off. So, let us thrive in this life. We cannot survive. Let us thrive. Let us impact. Let us empower other people so that as we live on, we can see these are the people that have changed. We have changed their lives.